Yo, what's going on, guys? It is time for another reaction video. This is going to be another one from Ren, and it is featuring Molly McKinna, and it is called Penitence. Let's get straight into it.
Lately, I think I was over time in my chest, beating slower.
Wow, she's got a really soft and soothing voice.
Chest beating slower, like the clouds, the color of them fading out, fading out. Oh, the heavy heart I carried went over your head and over mine.
Really pretty voice. This reminds me, is this a cover song? Because it reminds me of the movie Across the Universe, where the whole movie is made up of Beatles cover songs, basically, or it's like a storyline of the Beatles sort of timeline using their music to tell the story. And now that I'm reading the title of the song Penitence, it makes me think of part of that movie. And then the way that they're just kind of floating also reminds me of part of that movie when they were in the water floating around. I could be completely off, but let me know.
Over mine.
I counted the days she left like a prisoner, etching markings on my skin with an old knife, scratching. You see, I wanted the physical to match the psychological, and yet no matter how hard I dug, I still could not match that pain. I longed for reasons, I sung with demons, I sat in a dark dusty room, barely moving, breathing. I chewed through my own umbilical cord attached to her navel. I wanted to be separate.
I like the contrast of his spoken word to her singing, and this is probably like the slowest pace that I've heard from Ren so far. And I think I've done some of the ones where he's done more of kind of like a spoken word, but they aren't this slow and calm. So once again, here's Ren surprising me with yet another version of music or spoken word or whatever you want to call it that he can accomplish. And then obviously we know now too, or at least I do, that he composes all of his own music and backgrounds and so forth. So I'm sure he played the keys on this. I'm sure he played all the background music on this as well. It's really soothing. It's really pretty. I really like it.
Attached to her navel. I wanted to be separate. My mind is leaking. Solitude is so depleting.
I did it to myself. I know that you are faithful. I did it for my health. How come I'm still unstable and falling far from hell? The suicidal angel.
All right, guys, don't hate me for this comparison, but in this little part of it, she kind of reminds me of Billie Eilish a little bit too. I don't know, not that you guys should hate me for that comparison, because I actually think Billie Eilish is very talented and I really, really enjoy her music. But I also never want people to feel like I'm trying to make somebody have a different identity that's not their own, because Molly McKinna, I've never heard of her before now. But I really like her voice a lot. And then I kind of go back on my thoughts on it being a Beatles song, because now that I'm hearing the lyrics and the continuation of the song, it doesn't sound like the song that I thought of at all. So I'm kind of wondering if this is an original song of Ren's own or Ren and Michaela's own. I'm sorry, Molly McKinna, not Michaela. Sorry, let me roll it back a little. And does anybody know, is this actually Molly? Because the only reason I asked that is because when they showed the guy earlier, that obviously was not Ren. So I didn't know if they had actors for the video or if this is actually Molly.
I'm still unstable. I'm falling far from hell. The suicidal angel has lost my wings and fell. Falling so ungraceful, banished into hell.
These lyrics are heavy, man. Suicidal angel falling into hell. Is that what I heard?
I'm falling far from hell. The suicidal angel has lost my wings and fell. Falling so ungraceful, banished into hell.
I wish that I could stop crying. They say that the body is 70% water. I feel like I must have reduced mine by a considerable fraction. Newton's third theory states that for every action there must be an equal and opposite counter-reaction. And so I retrace my steps and try to find reasons in the arms of my demons, cause I can't find healing if I can't find meaning in conundrum. Leaning on my dom-nom, feelings how the news high, beaming when I hung from, ceilings when I run from, demons that are living in my head and escape.
Man, I want to go back because I'm trying to like really take in what he's saying. He's just so Ren has it. Obviously he's got many talents, but one of his other biggest talents is the way he writes, because this is now sounding more and more and more like an original track from Ren to me, based on the lyrics and everything. And it's like his lyrics are multi-layered. It's like reading between the lines and then reading between the lines again and again. So that's why I want to go back and give it another listen.
I wish that I could stop crying. They say that the body is 70% water. I feel like I must have reduced mine by a considerable fraction. Newton's third theory states that for every action there must be an equal and opposite counter-reaction. And so I retrace my steps and try to find reasons in the arms of my demons, cause I can't find healing if I can't find meaning in conundrum. Leaning on my dom-nom, feelings how the news high, beaming when I hung from, ceilings when I run from, demons that are living in my head and escape. Fate and disapparate, evaporate, evacuate and then activate. Fate, but it cut the brakes. Now I'm driving my universe into a lake in the weight of the world, don't wait. We make mistakes when it's all a stake. For goodness sake, a double take. But I don't want to eat that cake. I ruminate inside meaning to illuminate a dark mind. I communicate without speaking, and I've seen so much I went blind. Why I live in a lie with the lion inside.
That was really cool the way they did that with the mirror. Just doing the two cuts where they had both of them are from the reverse. Obviously that's already layered once. But then when they did the flash to the negative and then back to the regular, and then the head was replaced with the rose, it's really cool. And then obviously this one too, the cigarette turning into pencil shavings.
To illuminate a dark mind. I communicate without speaking, and I've seen so much I went blind. Why I live in a lie with the lion inside, living a lie with the lion inside. And my mind it's hungry for my sanity. I live in a lie with the lion inside, living a lie with the lion inside. And my mind is hungry and I don't know why. Pressure drop, deep breath, time stops. A broken, etc. ... Pressure drop, pressure drop, pressure drop. I feel it consuming. I can't stop. ... The lines join the dots and I'm tying knots. Then divide and multiply. Square the root of pi. Beat the puzzle. I try to keep my mind focused on the line. Hopscotch and pop rocks. I take shots of teardrops. When I drop a pill pop, I find peace and time stops.
Let's see, written by Ren Gill and Molly McKinna. So they wrote this one together. Cinematography seemed very... I'm reading through this because I don't usually take the time to read the credits on his stuff, and then it kind of can answer some of the questions that I'm typically asking, because sometimes I wonder if the art direction although it might be produced by someone else, I wonder if the art direction is coming from Ren, or if it's a collaboration where Ren's like, I kind of have this idea, but I don't know how to accomplish it. And then so he works with these people to accomplish it, but then they kind of add something of their own, or some element of their own, or thought of their own to get to where they want it. Or is it all Ren basically, and then they're just helping him to accomplish it? It would be really cool to find that out. I have a playlist at the end of this video. It's called Reniverse. And basically that playlist, I started it because any artist that I discover because of Ren, whether it's his bandmates or a featured artist, I'm putting everybody in that same playlist. And so although this is my first one to listen to from Molly McKinna, I basically went through Ren's entire music library and found all the artists that he's featured before and started adding them to my list. So I do have quite a few songs from Molly McKinna that I'm going to start reacting to as well. So if you guys like this song, then later today or maybe tomorrow, I'll be doing a reaction to some of her music as well. So make sure to subscribe if you're not already, if you want to see that. If you like this video and my reaction, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have a favorite featured artist that Ren has worked with in the past, and if you have suggestions of other artists that I should be reacting to. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.